indicia of the law. Thank you, Chair.
Could I request, because I'm trying to make sure that we are using our time efficiently, could I request that you further read the long outstanding receivables from exchange transactions? Because when I read that query, I realized that actually they are related. They are actually related with this particular query. So then Governor will respond to the two of them together.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
Long outstanding receivables from exchange transactions. The statement of financial possession reflects portion of long-term receivables from exchange transactions balance of Kenya shillings 3,984,646 as disclosed in Note 7 to the financial statements. The balance includes an amount of Kenya shillings 160,000 disbursed between 2016 and 2018 to 3 youth and women groups in the county. However, more than 6 years after the loans were disbursed, the groups have not repaid any amounts towards principal and interest. The management has not provided measures it has put in place to recover the outstanding loans. In the circumstances, the effectiveness of the controls and management of the recovery of disbursed loans could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Governor, your responses to those two queries?
Mr. Chairman, you realize that query number 7 is talking about 2016 to 2018, very many years ago before he came into office. We've learned our lessons, and that's why we've really improved the management.
Governor, I wanted you to read the responses
So I think
respectively. Yeah, the first one, then the second one, then you can be free to make a comment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on lack of insurance policy, the management response is as follows, Mr. Chairman. For the reference period, the Trans-Nzoia County Nawil Fund Board did not consider loans issued out through Nawil Fund as risky, and therefore resolved not to insure. Following the prior year's experiences, Nawil program was redesigned to mitigate the inherent risk of default by loanees through the adoption of a loaning strategy that is tied to LPO/LSO financing, which is linked by the bank and IFMIS system to facilitate automatic recovery of loan amounts. However, the board, to conform with the law, the board intends to ensure that all future loans issued are insured in accordance with the provisions of the Act. We've put an Appendix 3, which is an extract of the minutes of the board discussing the issue of the loan. And of course, Appendix 4, which is a design of the loan agreement form. So, Mr. Chairman, the remarks I wanted to add.
Next, read
the next one.
The next one, then you can make the comments together. They are very related.
On the loan outstanding receivables from the exchequer, from exchange transactions, the management response is as follows. The fund confirms the details of the outstanding receivables in Table 1. Number 1, bus park, 8,000. 2, UMAC Cottage Industries, 23,500. Romish Electricals, 30,000. Number 4, Simili Mabonga Gumbei, 20,000. 5, Violet Nanjala, 40,000. 6, Mary Namweya Wakoli, 5,000. Wilkesa Nekesa, number 7, 5,000. Beatrice Hasandi, number 8, 5,000. Daniel Legosi, number 9, 5,000. Lilian Musheti, number 10, 13,000. And Patrick Wanyoni, number 11, 5,500. Total, 160,000. There have been attempts to recover these loans, but the count has not been successful. Therefore, we have now embarked on the process of having these debts written off through a process that will culminate in a final approval in the county assembly. We have attached Appendix 11, which are demand letters issued out to defaulters, and Appendix number 12, the request to write off the debts that have been outstanding for too long.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, what we've developed as a strategy in Trans Nzoia is that there is this 30% upper that has not been working very well because the people who are targeted do not have capital to do business with the county governments. So using Nawiri, we've developed a strategy where groups who qualify under ACUP arrangement, once they are given an LSO, they benefit from this fund, the Nawiri fund. We give them sufficient funds to execute the tender. They are paid through the same account, and we are able to deduct our funds. So there's very little room for default. It's almost foolproof. Actually, for the first financial year, there was no default. We are looking at now the current financial year, see if they're going to be end default. It's almost foolproof. And we're also giving to groups. So if one member of a group dies, like you stated here, to cover those risks, death, incapacity, inability to pay, we really sorted them out. Previously, of course, we'll give money to individuals, and they'll just disappear. Or we give them to the groups, they default. But when you attempt to recover this money, especially around election time, actually the main defaults were around 2017. When people are told those were government funds, do not pay. Or an open start up and say, if I'm elected governor, I'll ensure that you don't pay. So people did not pay. And that's why we went to this other way. We give you money and we give you a tender. So the chances of default are almost zero. They're very, very minimal.
Auditor, your take on that response?
Thank you, Chair. I find it quite innovative, the issue of LSO, LPO financing, especially for the AGPO. What we shall be doing in the current financial year is to find out of the 48, or is it 49 million issued towards in May last year, our auditors who are on the ground are checking whether there are any defaults, whether there has been 100% recovery. Then if we find the defaults, then we might insist on, again, on the issue of insurance being undertaken, which was already in the policy.